Alright, welcome to Thursday. This is the last part of the chapter 17.3, The Family Life of Birds. Let's talk about birds and their family lives and what they do. And they do some different things than us, and that's a good thing for birds. First thing they do is migrate. Now, you might try and convince me that humans migrate too, and they kind of do. Some people migrate from up north to Florida every single year. But anyway, birds migrate a whole lot farther than most people do. It's kind of comparable to them, to people who come from like Canada down to Florida. They're moving to a completely different region. They're taking a route every year, the same route. It's called a flyway. And even birds that are born in captivity, they want to migrate too, and they take the exact same flyway. It is innate. It is within their DNA to know when to fly, where to fly, and how to fly. Even though it's very common for them to flock. You see, a lot of people thought that they just watched their parent bird do the migration. And it just doesn't seem like that, even though they do go in groups. Some of them come all the way from Prince Edward Island all the way down to Argentina. That's incredible. Birds are noted for their unusual courtship displays, such as those in the Birds of Paradise video, which I'm going to link below. And it's pretty incredible, of course. Let's see. Birds of Paradise. Oops. And so, I like, Netflix has an adaptation too. I like the Cornell Lab of Ornithology. You have these guys who travel to, I believe, Papua New Guinea and to parts of New Zealand to witness some very unusual birds. I think I've shown you this video before, probably in like 7th grade or something. Obviously, I don't think the sound is playing, because I have the free version of this app. But anyway, these guys go in and they observe some pretty incredible stuff. And they get some very incredible pictures of some birds that, well, they just found nowhere else in the world. And it's pretty incredible. I want to get to the dancing one. There's a dancing bird. Here he is. So he dances. This is the male bird, the female bird. Pretty incredible. So this guy's balancing all of his sensory organs on his head, making unique calls. Anyway, I'm going to copy that for the video. Anyways, and the male birds almost always do this, and it's a construct called female selection or female choosiness, where the female gets to decide which male she's going to mate with, so the male gets all dressed up. Odd, in humans it seems the opposite, where the males don't really care how they look, but the females do. So kind of strange there. Anyway, consequently, male birds are almost often the ones killed by predators and hunting. Why is this? Because they're the ones that are trying to show off. And when you show off, you do stupid things. Most stupid things, most fights that happen at school, you know, that kind of stuff, it always happens over relationships. So that's the way it seems, at least. Male birds are feverishly defensive of a female's attention and exhibit territoriality. What does that word mean? Territory means that they have their own space, and don't you come in that space. they will fight you for it. It is their spot, their territory. Mating and fertilization. The fertilized bird egg is surrounded by what's called an albumen, or egg white. Egg cells called the yolk. And the source of food within the yolk is called the germinal spot, or the germinal disc. Additionally, eggs contain this chalaza. You can see this little white squiggly line. It supports the yolk, and it stems from the eggshell. Helps the yolk stay in place. So the egg cell, the egg cell itself is actually this this yolk. So that's where the baby egg would grow, or the baby bird would grow, I should say. Kind of cool. I always wanted to be a chicken farmer, for whatever reason. Never done that kind of stuff. Sad. Nesting behavior is one of the best examples of instinct or innate unlearned knowledge in the animal kingdom. They innately build their nest and incubate their young. They don't need to be taught this. They just do it. It's in their DNA, which begs the question for evolutionists: how did they learn something, and have it stick to the next generation? That's impossible. No matter how smart I am, I'm never going to have my daughter be born with the innate knowledge of science. Now, she may be naturally smarter than some people, but she still has to learn everything that I did. She still has to learn her ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. And the fact is, she doesn't speak English innately. You know, she says hi now. If you say hi to her, she'll say hi. It's her only word she can say. However, if she was of a different nationality, if she was German and raised in Germany by different parents, she wouldn't be saying hi. She'd be saying hello, you know. Or if she was raised in Mexico, she'd be saying hola. That stuff isn't instinctual. Birds innately build nests. We already talked about that. Some birds even lose feathers on a spot called a brood patch. So the entire underneath of a bird, they lose all their feathers. So it's only the skin underneath the bird. And of course, the skin comes into contact with the warmest part of the bird, because the feathers aren't warm. You get whatever is on the outside. Underneath, the feathers insulate. And the bird's actually 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Most birds are run a fever their entire lives, 105 degrees. And so they're quite warm, and that's how they incubate. Birds fall into one of two categories at birth. I should say at birth. Altricial, naked and helpless. These must be fed and cared for by the mother. So they can't do just about anything. And they have to just sit in the nest and chirp until their mom comes back and gives them crop milk, which is a partially digested slew of whatever the mom ate. So the mom will go get some worms or something, partially digest them, puke them up, feed them to the birds. That's nasty, but what can you do? And then you have another category of birds is precocial, one that's able to run or swim immediately after hatching. Birds are often on their own. A lot of waterfowl are like this, where they have their babies and, all right, see ya, you know, and they just walk down to the water, start swimming. It's pretty incredible. Of course, humans are altricial. They are born with no ability to help themselves, and even my 9-month-old baby can't help herself. She often needs us to do what she needs to do. That's the end. Thank you for watching. That's the end of chapter 17. Make sure you do that last section review, and the test is coming soon. Alright, sayonara. Bye-bye.